Mother's love, so pure and strong.
Yeah, grandmorsan, my baby. Mwah. Thank you. Mwah. Thank you. I love you guys. Thank you. Thank you guys. Love you. Oh, those are so nice.
I'm Ramul.
Thank you. Okay, Mother's Day is got flowers and those beautiful. And from my husband, I got those. Oh, guys, I miss my mother. They know me so well. Oh my God. Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers in waiting and all the people standing in the gap of mothers. Happy Mother's Day. I know the other parts of the world, Happy Mother's Day is celebrated 2 weekends ago, that was on the 17th. But in Scandinavian, it's celebrated today. Fint! Snyggt! Hello everybody, and good morning, good afternoon, good evening to everybody, and happy Mother's Day to all mothers in waiting, and mothers who are standing in the gap of motherhood. This is not an easy job, and you should be very proud of yourself. I know Mother's Day is celebrated on the 17th of May in other parts of the world, but in Scandinavian and in Sweden, Mother's Day is celebrated today, the 31st of May. So I wish all mothers out there happy Mother's Day. And even if your mother doesn't live anymore, like my mother, you have a right to celebrate her because you are because of her. That is why you're here. So feel free. If you're sad, cry. If you're happy, you have a memory or 2 or 3 or 4 to remember about your mother. So celebrate her and let her be celebrated in you. And if you're a mother yourself, kudos to you guys. You're doing a great job. And the new subscribers, before I start mumbling, my name is Generica, those meeting me for the very first time, and this is the Best of Two Worlds channel. And thank you so much for clicking to come back and watch the video every single time. Karibuni sana, I love you. What a great day to be alive. Myself, I'm celebrating a grandchild, so I am very proud of being a mother and a grandmother. So let's see what the day has to offer. So he celebrated his birthday on the 21st, like you've seen in my previous video, and today is his party. Yay! He's invited a few of his friends, and that's what's going to happen. We are celebrating him as we celebrate all mothers.
Whose card is the fastest?
Yeah.
hipp. Bam, 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 bam. Nu får du önska dig någonting tyst i huvudet innan du blåser ut alla ljusen.
Jag sa det, jag har tänkt det.
Ja, och så blåser ut ljusen.
Okej.
Kom igen då. Ja. Ja.
Yay! In the spirit of Mother's Day, I would want to look back at my own as a mother, the journey of my life with my two children, and it goes back way back from Kenya, because I got my first child at 22 years of age, very young and naive, and not knowing what life was going to bring for me or what was awaiting me as a mother. And when I discovered I was pregnant, I was not in a stable relationship, and that's the truth. The truth is I was in a shaky relationship, but here I am, I'm pregnant, and I said to myself that since this child is here, I was going to keep it. I was going to keep this child because I was not about to go through the process I had from people about getting rid of children. Remember, I'm 22. Yes, I had a job, but it was not a very well-paying job. Yes, it was a job, but it was a job that was in town. I was living way in Langata. Those who know Langata is a distance. That time, we are talking about what, 29, 28 years ago. The traffic from town to Langata, the queuing, guys, you know all that thing. But all the same, I decided, you know what, I'm here, this is the situation, and I'm not going to run away from it. And I was going to take responsibility, and even not knowing what the future holds or what is expected of me. And since I decided to keep, I told the father of the child that this is the situation, and you know, Kenyan man, it is what it is. Anyway, fast forward, I gave birth to a beautiful child. That's the best decision I ever made, guys. I to you, but that's the best decision I ever made, because it forced me, one, to grow up and to take life seriously, even with my little salary. Yes, I had a man, but it was not a man who was really providing. And when my daughter was born, I decided, you know what, this is my issue, this is my problem, I'm going to take it by the horn, and I'll do what is necessary for my child. And the child was born, and we started to be parents, and you know, not knowing, of course, I had a house girl, so by the time the child was 3 months, I had to go back to work, and left the child, of course, with the house girl. And we continued like that. We struggled. Life was hard, yes, but we still championed on, and I continued to be the kind of mother I needed to be. Thank God, my in-laws were very good. I had very supportive in-laws, so we never lacked, and we survived. And the time came for my daughter, Mary. We're talking about now Mary. And remember, we're in Kenya. I have a house girl. I have a salary of 15,000 shillings. Back then in Kenya, you can imagine. And I decided, you know what? I want to take my child to school. I want my child to go to school. And I want the child to be able to interact with other children. So I took my child to the nearest daycare. I had to pay for it, of course. And the house girl would drop the child, and we would pick her. The disadvantage of that, the fact that I was a good mother, I was providing, I was taking care of this child, I was really never there for the child to see the development of the child. So when the child lost the first tooth, you go to work, you come back, the child has lost a tooth. You go to work, you come back, the child has started walking. So you miss all these fasts. remember, I was still doing a lot of growing myself because I was still young. And I have said it before, I am a late bloomer. So I was growing at the same time with my child. So you get to miss all these fasts. Yes, you get the help to be able to go back to work, you get the help, you come back, the house is clean, the food is cooked. But for your child, you miss those fasts. But the bottom line is, I was there. And I remember very clearly. This one I remember very, very clearly. My mother once told me that because I really wanted to go back to school. I wanted to go back to school and that time I was working as a secretary in somewhere in industrial area. I wanted to go back to school and complete. I had done travel consultancy, but I wanted to go and advance so that now I can get a good job. So I wanted to go back to school, and I talked to my parents and my dad. Thank God for my dad. My dad was all about education. Dad was all about educating yourself. He always used to say that education never ends. Those are the kind of parents I had. So I had a conversation with my mother, and my mother, I remember very clearly, she said, why don't you bring the child home? So that you can be able to now concentrate on your studies, and you can be able to concentrate on going to school. And I said, no, this is my problem, and I want to be able to take care of my problem, however difficult it's going to be. And that's a personal decision. That's a decision I made myself. I decided, you know what, I cannot burden my parents with bringing up the child. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. But I felt like I needed to be with my child at that time. And I was very grateful because, home is not very far, so I could go home and come back over the weekend, come back with milk, come back with food stuff, come back. You guys who have your parents near you, you know how it is. You go home, you come back with food stuff. So really, we never lacked. And I went back to school, and thank God I got a job. Okay, that was that time. Bringing up a child, you're young yourself, but I did what I could with what I had then. Fast forward, I got a chance to travel. My sister lived in this country for many years, and she decided that she wanted to give me a chance to come and visit. And who knows what life would be for me. And as the sisters, we are 3 girls. As the sisters, we made a decision. My sister in Kenya had a good job, and she had an apartment. So we decided we will leave my daughter with her. This time my daughter was about 6 years. We'd leave the child with her, and we will be sending her money for maintenance, for all the kids. She had 3 kids then. So, and now my daughter, 4 children. So very grateful. My sister stayed with my child. I came this way to visit, and I stayed here. And at the back of my mind, I knew that I'm doing this for my child. Whatever coming to Sweden will bring, it was going to bring something good for my child, for me and my child. It was going to open an opportunity, who knows. And so I came, but leaving my child back home, you're really not there. Somebody else is bringing the child. So the child has been brought up all the way by a house help, which is not a bad thing. She was a nice girl, and we lived as one family, and that was something that also was very important for me, that the person taking care of my child was part of my family, so she was going to be treated as such. And now she's living with my sister, and that is my family, so I was going to treat them as such. I was going to provide for everybody, and that we did. We sent money every day. I came this side, we send money every month to my sister. I tried to work. Then it was easy to get local jobs and work, and the little money I made, we sent back home. And thank God, I stayed here for almost 6 months with a visit visa. Remember, with a visit visa, you can't work, you can't really do much. And when it was time for me to go back home after my time, my visit, because it couldn't be extended anymore, I had to go back home. Came for me to go back home. I'd already met somebody. But in the process, I always used to tell God, because my relationship, of course, with the father of my child ended, and that was it. And now here I was, single mother with a child. Do what you have to do. Do what you have to do for your child. So I had met somebody who we clicked, and life was serious, and we had talked about starting a life, but I did not know how that life was going to look like. Remember, this is a foreign country. This is a country that speaks a different language. This is a country people look different from me. So I did not know what that was going to entail. I did not know what it was going to mean for me and my child. But I think I'm one person who is very open. I'm one person who is very determined. And so it was time for me to go back. And he decided he wanted to follow and go and meet my parents. And the discussion was, me as a Kenyan, and more so a Kikuyu, I cannot just take a man home as who. So we had to make the decision, or he had to make the decision to what he wanted. And those discussions were there, marriage and all that, kabash and all that, and coming to stay. But it was not going to be easy, because it's not just a matter of moving from your country to coming to stay here. So now here I am, going back home. I don't have a job, because of course I had left my job, and I have a child. I still have to provide. And thank God that I was able to receive money from my then boyfriend from here, and we were able to survive. And we went through the process of processing our coming to stay visa, which then was easier. We filled all the papers and sent all the things, but it takes time. So it took about maybe a year or so before I could even get my papers to come and stay. And then that time, if you as a mother get the permit to come to Sweden to stay, your child automatically did. So my daughter got the permit also to come to Sweden with me. And now as a mother, the first instinct is to protect your child. How is coming to Sweden going to look like for us? And that time, Mary was in class 2 when we were in Kenya, or class 3, I don't remember very well. And she turned 7 the year we moved into Sweden. And in Sweden, at 7 years of age, that's when you start class 1. Okay? She was in class 3 in Kenya, but here in Sweden, when you come to Sweden at 7 years of age, you start class 1. So we moved in, and that was summer. We moved in during the start of summer, the whole of summer. We were at home orienting ourselves. We had just moved into a new house and things like that. And I started to worry as a mother, is my child ever going to speak the language? Is my child ever going to be able to mingle with the kids? How is she going to be? How is it going to go for her in school when she can't speak the language? So those were the things that went into my mind. And August came. That is when now the schools open, and of course she had joined the school. All the children in that area, if you're living in an area, there's a school, that's where the children go. So she joined school, and thank God, I really appreciate, thank God, the teacher in charge of her class could speak English. That was such a big relief for me as a mother, because I knew she was going to at least have a grown-up who is in school to guide her. Yeah, and so they had talked about the new student who is coming in August. She doesn't speak Swedish, so you need to be prepared, you need to be nice to her, and all this good stuff that I came to know later. And Mary joined school. She did so well. So I had a file. You guys know how Kenya system is. For every exam she had ever done, for everything she had ever done in school, I had a file. So I took all these files to the teacher in school. And when they looked at her file, they said that the work she had done was what kids in class 5 are doing. So it was like going back. It was like going back in class, which was okay. I think I was open to, this is a new system, this is a new life, we're starting from zero, this is how it is, let's do it. So we got a lot of support, and she joined in, and she quickly, kids are amazing. She started learning the language, and she learned very fast. Now the issue here in Sweden, remember in Kenya you can afford a house girl. Now you're in Kenya, you're the everything. You're the one who's cleaning the house, you're the one who's cooking, you're the one who's going to pick from school, you're dropping in school, everything is on you. So you get into the rhythm. Myself, I needed to go to school to learn the language. I needed to try and look for something to do, at least to support at home. Not that it was necessary or needed, but as a woman, you need your own money. You need your own money. So fast forward, things went well. We joined in. I started to adapt into that we are everything. Thank God I had somebody who was supportive. He also helped in going to pick. So life was, I wouldn't say life was that hard for us, because we were a team, we were working as a team. A few years later, 2025, I was blessed with another child. Now, remember, I am a parent who has raised a child in Kenya with the house girl and all the help, and taking my child to home during the weekends and holidays to be taken care of by my parents. Now here, I'm all alone. I have a child and I have another child. Everything is on you. And the difference is that here you are there to see all the fasts for your child. Whatever, when you're the one who is training the child how to stop wearing diapers, you're the one who is doing everything. When the child is sick, you're the one who is running everything that you get help in Kenya in doing. Here you have to do yourself. And that's the difference. And you grow, guys. You're forced to grow. You're forced to mature and really adapt. And thank God that I think from my background, from my mother, seeing my mother and watching my mother, because my mother, guys, is a strong woman. My mother is a whole force. My mother commands a space. She walks in a space and would command the space. She talked to millions and millions of people. I mean, this is a woman who started the CWA, those who know the Catholic Women Association. My mother was among the founders. So thank God for the background I had. I was able to bring up not only a child in Kenya alone with the house girl, but also move into a different country and adapt. Okay, I had the support of my sister and her daughter, but the adaptation and the knowing what's good for your child and what's not good for your child was all up to me. But I also got a lot of help. And that's the difference of motherhood in Kenya. For me, I'm talking about me, in Kenya and here is very different. With the second child, I was there for all the first moments. I was there when she lost her first tooth. I was there when she started to walk. I was there for all the first moments. And believe you me, you miss, of course, you miss at least getting the help to clean the house. You miss getting help in washing clothes. You miss all those things that you can get help in Kenya. Of course, and it is tough, believe you me. If you're going to work, you're the one dropping the child in the morning, you get yourself to work, you come back and pick the child in the evening, you come back, cook, everything is on you. But it is a journey that I have loved. It's a journey I have enjoyed. It's a journey, of course, you make a lot of mistakes on the way, but you learn along the way, and you accept these mistakes. But also the differences in, like, the school system here. At the very beginning, they would go to school from 9 to 2 o'clock, and I was not used to that. So I was wondering, will she ever catch up? What kind of a person is she going to be? But slowly, as you stay, you get to adapt, you get to understand the system, you get to understand how things are done. And when you go to Rome, you have to do as the Romans do. What choice do you actually have? So I must say, my children now being young adults, they are 28 going to 29 and 20, looking at my motherhood journey, I can say I've been through it all. I've been through it in Kenya and bringing up a child there as a single mother with almost nothing, coming to this country, bringing up another child or 2 children now in a different state, in a different environment. Things are done differently. I have learned, but I also have made a lot of mistakes. And one thing I know for sure I have not done, I have not forgotten who I was and where I came from the very beginning. And that is something I instilled in my children, that remember, you're Kenyan, you look different. Even if my daughter is quite light and have different kind of hair, you're still going to be considered a black lady or a black person. So you have to carry yourself as such, and the difference doesn't make it different. You're unique. We are all unique in our different ways, and that is what I try to instill in them, and to have the confidence of the fact that you're different. And I can say that they've gone through school being part and parcel of the society, and they've had friends, and they've had, the same advantage, and the fact that they've had friends who look different than them gives me joy as a mother. So wherever you are and whatever situation it is you are, I would say, being there and having done that, having gone through the process of changing my life from zero, literally from zero, you have to be open. You have to be open. You have to learn. You have to be ready to learn the new norms, how things are done. And still not forgetting where you've come from. So there are those things still, as an African mother, that needed to be done. If it's helping at home, they needed to help. If it's being respectful, they needed to be respectful. And I thank God for that journey, because as much as it has been hard, as much as it has been not easy, it has brought me a lot of joy. It has made me learn a lot of things. It has made me grow as a person, and I can't take that for granted, and I will not take anything back. I will not take anything back in that whole process. So I'm proud to be a mother of 2 girls. I'm proud of where my children are. They are good girls. They've done a lot of work with themselves. They've educated themselves, because going to school is optional. And they've done well for themselves. So I'm very, very, very proud of myself, because it's important to be proud of yourself. I'm proud of myself and the journey I've gone through in motherhood. And now watching my daughter be a mother, and a single mother like I was, gives me joy to see that she's able to do it. She's able to live on her own with Hassan and bring up Hassan alone with her. Some of the things probably I've taught her, but also the things that she's taught, the society has taught her. And as much as we are there to support her and to hold her, she has the whole responsibility of her son. And I'm grateful to watch her do her motherhood journey. And I'm going to be talking to her very soon about, so far, Hassan is only 6, about how her motherhood journey has been so far as a single mother, but also as a mother. So stick around and we will be hearing from Mary very, very soon. So don't forget to like the video, please. Share it with friends and family and subscribe, guys, because this channel is about learning, it's about sharing, it's about correcting one another with love. So let's continue to do this. Let's continue to support. So I love you so much. God bless you. If you have not subscribed, please take a moment and subscribe. And let's learn from one another. So thank you so much for joining and for watching until the very end. So we will see you in the next one. I'll say God bless you and have a beautiful time, morning, evening, whatever time it is you're watching. Bye for now.
Guiding me my whole life long in her arms.